Hey everybody, welcome back to I've Got Next, and here we are, our knight in rusty armor that is going to be chasing Ashley here. I am Smeef, and with me is Austin again.
Hello, hello.
This was a fun little sequence here. We came in here, we did that forever sliding puzzle, and like the QTEs here. Oh, and as a reminder, we are playing as Ashley.
I like that they are defeated by the QTE.
Yeah, I love that. It's just a It was funny. Yeah, so you can kind of, I could hear the knight kind of stomping up behind me, and thankfully I was able to press the buttons and just put a complete kibosh on that little chase scene.
Bob says it's my turn to play Xbox.
Yeah. Crumble. Tell you what, that's that's like a really expensive one-time use trap.
They only got one good swipe in them.
Mm-hmm. It's really weird. So, I guess for the sake of the gameplay itself, you notice they gave Ashley man hands for the VR version.
I thought it just mapped your hands.
All right, we've made it through the little puzzle here, and now we have to go reunite with Leon.
Who designed this castle?
Well, whenever they're coming across the blueprints, they say, make it impractical.
I think that was the sliding block puzzle was just leftover blueprints.
Leon!
Mm-hmm.
Ashley! You did good.
I'm sorry if I was...
Oh, don't worry about it. Come on.
A bitch?
What do we... This is called No One Ends a Sentence.
Yes?
What a
Oh.
touching moment we have here.
Quip off
All
time.
spoiled thanks to your interruption. Why don't you do us all a favor and leave? before
I was about to score, dude.
pissed off?
You're nothing but an extra in my script, so don't get too carried away. Your biggest scene is over.
I don't ever remember being a part of your crappy script.
Well then, why don't you show me what they
Oh yeah, well, time to change the film reel.
action?
Or, shut up, you're ugly.
Boy.
Like, yeah, they just go back and forth. They picked a theme, and then they both decided to stick with it. Like friends.
Maybe they're part of the same improv group, and it's like, okay, in this scene we'll be talking about theater scripts.
You're just an extra.
Remember to yes and Mr. Kennedy.
I do love how he's like, oh, and here comes the most impractical thing. It's like it's my favorite part. I wish there were more of it. All right, so we come to like I'm doing a quick save here, and then we're gonna be coming to the next room here.
Wait here.
Please install a molten lava pit in my basement, please. Bye, Ashley.
I always love video game and movie lava, which is perfectly fine to be around as long as you're not touching it.
Oh yeah.
The temperature does not travel past like 2 feet.
Nah. How does this get past HOA?
Okay. and in there would be cool dragons that breathe fire.
And also, make it to where the chest knows when the guy standing up there dies.
Nom 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 nom. Will it let you jump and kill yourself here?
You know, I don't know. I didn't venture to try that. I gotta wonder though, like, did somebody just like go to the AHOA president and like slip him a penny to kind of keep the lava death pit a little hush hush?
I'm gonna assume that in order to get away with this, you let them catch a few small things. So like the yard is a little overgrown. He used the wrong kind of white paint in certain areas. And they're just so distracted by that, they never even made it to the lava pit.
Yeah, they get really angry about the whole grass link thing. I like this particular trap is just you have to play peekaboo with the guy.
Hide behind those the wall scrolls that you could learn dragon shouts from.
Gotcha.
Doop.
Oh boy, he really put his faith in that chain.
What's Ashley doing right now?
She's probably just back in that other room just like kicking rocks. Wonder what he's doing. I've basically, you know, now that you think of it, you know, there's molten lava sitting in that little pit there, and she's in a brick room, which is very good at insulating. I've basically just left her in an oven.
Yeah, I assume that this is all just carbon dioxide poisoning. There actually isn't any zombies or any of that.
Oh man, that would be like going so meta if like they come back with like the whole conspiracy was just that's like a Shyamalan twist. Like the whole series has just been hallucination.
It's like the Dark Pictures anthologies.
I wanted to like those. Because
I
like in the very first one, it had Peter Stormare, who is like one of my all-time favorite actors. Because I mean, that man knows how to ham it up in the right way. Like he was great as Satan in Constantine.
Yep.
He played the quiet guy in Fargo. And he was the Russian cosmonaut in Armageddon.
Yep.
Yep. Hey.
I've been watching a series of bad movies lately, and rewatched Solomon Kane, which when Edgar Rice Burroughs was writing Conan, somebody was like, "What if Conan, but religious zealot?" So Solomon Kane is just a Puritan that goes around fighting witches. And his one defining trait is super religious. It's not good. But the movie does have Pete Postlethwaite in it, which is another one of those actors that just lends a bit of credence to everything they're in.
Yeah. He was my favorite part of James and the Giant Peach.
How dare you? How dare you shit on Miss Spider like that?
He was in, I think one of the last movies he was in was Clash of the Titans?
Yeah. Played Perseus's dad.
Oh, shit. Ashley. See? Carlos died. It's real sad. Boo-hoo.
She's like, I met him once.
Yeah, they did. They at least gave you reason to be a little more upset about it in the remake.
Back backtracking.
Hey, fellas.
What? Oof.
Do
Did it hit both you and Ashley?
she made a noise, so it might have. I mean, he threw a giant fucking sight, so I mean, odds of hitting are pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Got some muns. Jesus. Just like 2 rooms over is the lava pit.
Well, they have a little dining hall. Then you throw all the food waste into the lava pit. It's just a naturally occurring trash disposal.
I mean, and it would pretty well vaporize anything to a certain temperature point. So, yeah. Effective. Alright, doing a little bit of backtracking. I think... Yeah, I'm going... I think I'm headed to the treasure room next. Excuse me. Yeah, back to Peter Stormare. He's like a I don't know, is he... I don't like it because it sounds like such a diminutive term, but is he technically a B-lister?
I don't know. Hold on, let me look up some Peter Stormare facts. I first of all don't know if it's Peter Stormare or Peter Stormare.
Whichever one sounds more Swedish. Here's my baby, the broken butterfly, Magnum.
I thought that was your goth girlfriend.
Huh? Broken butterfly?
Yeah. Oh man, he is still working.
Yeah, that's one of those, like, the broken butterfly. I don't think I ever used it, because, like, Magnum ammo is so precious in this game.
Follow me.
Come on, girl, do it for a treat.
I'm glad the enemies stay clear. Well, never mind.
Well, it's different ones that show up. They kind of did that in the very first Resident Evil remake that was on the GameCube. That remade the first one. They added that mechanic of the Crimson Head zombies. Mm-hmm. Whereas if pretty much any zombie that you didn't set fire to would come back as a Crimson Head later in the game.
Oof. Oofa and or doofa.
I know that there's plenty to complain about the very first one. Tank controls, like different still camera angles. But for some reason, I just that's still one of my favorite ones.
I mean, that's fair. It was kind of like a cultural shift there.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say it was I think it was the first game to actually coin the term survival horror, if I'm not mistaken. Tunnel of Love time. On opposite sides.
Rejected.
Boy, you know you're overdoing it when you have to have a rail car take you from one part of your house to another.
Just a little bit extra. Wow, Alone in the Dark came out in 92. Before that, I would say you could make arguments for some of the earlier, like there were definitely earlier survival horror-esque games.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Get in it.
The very first Alone in the Dark, or I don't know if it was the very first one. I played one on the PlayStation to where, like, the first monster that you fight, you literally use a flashlight to kill it.
That one doesn't sound familiar. Alone in the Dark is the one, at least the 92 one is the one that has the hopping creatures. You start in an attic and it's all horrifically polygonal.
Oh, okay. I think I might be thinking of a different one. There was a PlayStation one that come out, so yeah, it would have been before. The one you're talking about would have been before that.
Yeah, the 360 one was very wild and out there. At one point, Satan shows up, and the main character tells him to fuck you. It's quite funny.
Speaking of, you know they're making a Constantine sequel?
I've heard that. I have to go back and read. Wasn't Tilda Swinton in?
Oh yeah, she was. She played like some half angel Gabriel. Oh man, this is probably one of my favorite things. This is the shooting gallery. This could have been like this could have been a standalone. Like they could have almost sold this as like a cheap standalone game. This is really fun as hell.
I think they should just redo the like House of the Dead style game in Resident Evil, but in VR. What was that? What was the rail shooter? Umbrella Chronicles?
They had a couple of them. Umbrella Chronicles was one. Biohazard, I think might have been another one.
I see.
But yeah, the Umbrella Chronicles was one of them. I can't remember which one I had. But yeah, the rail shooter just basically kind of revisited. Which one was it when you were when you went through the swampy area? I think it like revisited. I can't remember which one it revisited. But I know 2 was. Oh no, it revisited 2. That's what it was.
Okay.
All right, so you get a score, and then at the end you get these little bottle cap thingies. Oh, and Leon's gonna play with dolls. And they're gonna kissy kiss. Leon's got to work some things out, I guess. But those bottle caps are cool. It's a thing in Japan, where like anytime they would have this promotional thing, like some of the sodas or anything that they would have these little figurines on top, and they would actually have like small little one-liners that if you like squeeze their hand or something like that, they would speak.
I confess to being a sucker for gachapon. It's one of those things where every time I'm over there, I have to just struggle to not spend all my money on gachapon. I have some.
Do they do them different, or do you still have to slide in some coinage?
Oh, it's all still coins. I have a cool Zoids figurine or two that I got out of gachapon machines. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a bunch of holes in the floor.
Yeah. Wonder what's gonna happen here. How'd you get there?
Let's see if you can survive this time.
Oh. All right, Ashley.
You're gonna be a sandwich. It's only funny if you knew who Jill was. Again, situation in which Leon's cool. Situation in which being in VR made this a lot easier.
What was it? So there's a mod for the new Resident Evil 4 that makes it so all 151 original Pokemon are available as little keychain accessories, the ones that you win, including like shinies.
Nice.
So I looked at that and I was like, oh no, I can't play that.
In the original, well, in this one, is it still unlocking them through the shooting gallery game?
Oh yeah, and then some enemies drop them rare and stuff like that. Wow. Well, that driller machine from the labyrinth is no match for you.
Is David Bowie gonna show up?
Yes.
Oh, take your time. No hurry. Yeah, the threat was really minimal on that one.
Ooh.
Where are you gonna stick that, Leon?
It's so elegant.
All right, Ashley, I'm gonna try this one more time, okay? It's a whole board. Watch. And away. Huh?
Are you not entertained?
I'll show you.
A grail?
The you've picked up something important noise. Oof. I will say that for the most part, Resident Evil has been fairly consistent on their good games. It's the games that came out on the Wii, like the rail shooters, I don't know, like they're just kind of side games, so those didn't really do it for me. I'm just not a, unless it's actually in an arcade, I guess, unless it's actually an arcade like Time Crisis or something like that. Just rail shooters don't do it for me.
Fair. They let you have
They were
the
nice
first
enough
one.
to stand there. Yeah, they were nice enough to stand there and let me get a second try. It's okay, take your time. Oh!
Woof.
Oh. She's good at taking sharp blades. Ow.
Woof. You less so.
Yeah. It would be cool, like if the more injured you were, the worse off your walk cycle was.
Oh boy, that wouldn't get tired. Just 5 seconds in.
And come back. I think it's compulsory for Leon at this point. He's like, well, it's not my house.
You know, I mean, why not at this point? It's...
A non-broken window would just look weird. That one startled me a little bit.
How long was that snake in there?
Well, I think they just kind of like, maybe they're zombie snakes.
Las Plagas.
Yeah, that was the snake battle from the first game. That was a hell of a boss fight.
There was one in 5 as well. No, 6. That's pretty wild too, because it also goes invisible.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah. There's a lot of red shirts around to get killed first, though.
Ah, okay. So this is a. I've actually never tried this without. This can be a pretty gnarly fight unless you go down to the into that one room and grab the rocket launcher.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh.
Because otherwise it's just like I think you have to fight many more of them. But it doesn't ultimately it doesn't change anything other than you just save a few bullets.
I like that the RPG is just like, I don't feel like doing this.
Well, they kind of did that in so now when you first play it, it's pretty hard. The fight with the tyrant at the end of the first one. But after you figure out how the mechanic works, is basically you just run around until Brad Vickers, I think his name is. He just drops. Bye.
Leon, I can hear a roach in my room that is only like 1.5 inches long. How do you not hear a giant bug sneaking up on you?
Especially since they sound like a damn locust
Yeah.
flying around, and they make squelchy noises. You know, that's really kind of one of those things, you know, when scientists come up with some sort of creation, they just kind of start throwing stuff at the wall and see what comes back.
Yes, exactly that phrase. Nailed it.
Yeah, I know. I just like to think that somebody just sitting in the boardroom, what if we made giant locusts? All right, I'll hear you out. That's it. I just want to see a giant locust.
One of the new Jurassic Parks is like that. It's just like, well, we decided to create some really, really giant locusts. Why? That'd be cool, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of what bothered me about when Jurassic World started coming out,
Yeah.
and they made the T-Rex raptor.
The Interoraptor? Or...
Yeah, and it is pretty much like what is it? What was his name? Doctor Who, I think.
Woo. Henry
Wu.
Woo.
Yeah, and he's like, he says, you came to me and said you wanted a very dangerous, deadly dinosaur, and that is what I gave you.
I mean, well, to be fair, in that one at least they were creating a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost worth watching the new Jurassic World just to see Jeff Goldbluming it out.
I haven't seen the latest ones. I knew that he come like they brought everybody back for like the most recent one, like Ian Malcolm.
Yep.
What was her name? Sadler.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Elliot Sadler.
Yeah. And yeah, I think Jeff Goldblum at this point, he's just in. He's in on the joke. He's seen like the episodes of SNL.
He just kind of dances through this newer movie. It's fantastic. He's like a fey creature.
He is a bit.
Well, we got some hieroglyphics on the wall. What's going on there? No, just elegant designs, I guess.
Yep. Outside needs a bit of work. Or maybe that's what he was going for. Ruined castle aesthetic.
Yeah, he goes to, what's it, Halloween City? Those little pop-up stores.
Mm-hmm.
If you even scratch her, I'll break your bones.
First, we shall see if you can make it this far.
I don't have
I'll
any.
be waiting.
I don't think any of those were puns.
That's unfortunate.
Calls him back. I can't see you. I can. You lose.
Also, when you see how this puzzle is set up, one must wonder how they got over there. Because the switch to rotate the bridge is here.
Oh no.
Yes, I have ruined your ingenious plan to lock me out.
So quiet. I've not noticed how little music there is in this game sometimes.
Yeah, it's like right now they're playing what you might refer to as music, but it's more or less just ambient filler.
Yeah, I mean I think it's a good thing, letting the silence kind of speak for itself. Just let you exist in the moment.
Mm-hmm. They did that a lot in the at least I know they tend to do that in most of them. Even coming as so far as to
Ashley.
of course, it's cutscene music's gonna happen, but about the only other time you really actually hear any music is gonna be save room.
Oh,
I knew you were going to stand there.
The old Jabba the Hutt trap. How many times has this grapple hook shown up before at this point?
Won't fall for this old trick.
How dare you! No more games!
He's angry.
We shall prepare for the ritual.
These leftover Star Wars characters.
What's that?
These leftover Star Wars characters here.
Mm-hmm. They're like really tall Jawas mixed with Predator.
The Geonosians.
So maybe you had my lives, but it doesn't matter now, Mr. Kennedy. I've sent my right hand to dispose of you.
Your right hand comes off?
I can see your right hand. You didn't go nowhere. Just checking out the impaled corpses here.
Huh.
Yep, they look good and impaled.
I'm the rightful ruler.
Mm-hmm. I love how video game logic the merchant is.
He just kind of shows up where he's needed.
Yeah, I mean, he's always just chill. That's got poo on it.
Boy, that would be like best case scenario in this environment.
Oh man, Las Plagas turd.
Yeah.
Got little worms and shit all in it.
You mean more so than usual?
Here comes a pretty groovy. This is pretty groovy sequence. I can't remember this monster's name, but it's a pretty fun fight. It's just, they kind of put you in one of those scenarios where like the mechanic specifically to fighting him is dotted around the area.
Yeah, they kind of at least spiritually bring this fight back in 5, and I believe in 6 as well.
It's been like I played 6 one time, and that was quite a. Don't worry about that. That was quite a while back as well. That was I had been on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, in 5 you face the wormy kind of made up of leech creatures that can't die, and one of them you kind of lead into a furnace and trap them in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just got a QT your way through this whole sequence.
Yeah. Somebody watched Alien.
Oh, that's straight up a alien tale.
Yeah.
I hadn't even really paid that close attention.
Time out. Time in.
I saw the rubble. I was just waiting for the tail to come back down.
Yeah.
Also, that's a very impractical switch. Okay, that switch is going to lock you in this room while an elevator several rooms away comes up. Makes sense somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah. Boop. Just for a while.
Yeah. Pardon? Ouch!
You've been flashbanged, son.
I was like, oh no, thankfully he was nice enough to walk right in it.
Ah!
Ouch! Ta-da! And this was one of those situations where, like, do I want to break out the Magnum? And then, like, I might need those bullets later. Stand there calmly while I slowly tip this over.
Sucker!
I will say, he might have the alien tail, but it's not penisy enough to be a Geiger creation.
Yeah, that's true. Have you seen that museum?
A penis museum?
The H.R. Geiger Museum.
So a penis museum.
I mean, I would say that he has branched out from just the penis.
Now he does balls.
I mean, I would say look up his work. He is just... He's working through some stuff. You
You know who I actually like as a composer? I mean, granted, when we hear most of his music, it's in a Tim Burton movie, and it's a lot of his music is like boom baba. But Danny Elfman.
Okay, yeah.
But if you listen to some of his other music, it's actually really good. Like even his Tim Burton stuff, you know, it's very memorable, and he does really well for setting the atmosphere.
I mean, Men in Black 1 is the big thing that I remember him from.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
If you go back and listen to it, I think it's pretty obvious now that it was him.
Having difficulty taming the American pig. Salazar had his chance.
Why does he say everything with pouty lips? You can just hear it.
He's on Instagram.
Of this swine while you're at it.
Consider it done.
Krauser, you suck.
I'm a bad guy. Was he in 2?
You were asking the wrong person. You're the Resident Evil expert.
If by expert kind of know things.
I've only played
been
the
a hot
later
minute.
ones.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I played 2, and I don't remember Krauser. It just kind of hornshoes it in. Like, you know, Krauser was his mentor, and now he comes back as bad guy. I'll have to look at it. Like, I know Ada was in 2, definitely.
Oh, just one more shout out to Danny Elfman, the original Batman, or well, the '98 Batman.
Yeah. That was, I think that was...
I'm sorry, '92
think that-
Batman.
Oh, was it 92?
Yeah, it was the Batman Returns. Which makes sense. That was the Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah. Arguably one of the better ones. I've yet to see Michelle Pfeiffer topped as Catwoman.
I'm trying to think if there's been a Catwoman that I've really felt
Okay.
had strong feelings about.
If you say Eartha Kitt, I'll give you that one.
I mean, I think Eartha Kitt's classic. Zoe Kravitz plays her in the new one, and she's fine. I don't know that Catwoman has much going on, other than, you know, the cartoon ones probably.
Her, I don't know. She was just Michelle Pfeiffer made that in such a badass role. Like, especially considering like the whip stunts she actually did. Like in the scene where she's in the mall and she whips off the mannequin heads.
Yeah.
That was actually her doing that.
Yeah.
And I think there was something not too terribly long ago on a social media of some kind. She posted a video of her showing that she still has the ability to do that.
It's like riding a bike. Also, these guys blend into their environment very well.
Like, just like a bunch of coal miners just start to camouflage.
Yeah. All of them MLB level pitchers in both in both accuracy and distance.
Yeah, I'd probably lose a thumb or something if I tried to throw an axe.
Well, except
We
for that
all-
guy. Hold on, let me take that back.
Whoa!
Sometimes you panic and you just throw it. Ugh.
Man, remember all those? I mean, they weren't around for too long. They got taken away shortly after. I want to say like early '90s. They got taken out, but like when M80s were still around. And then all the propaganda videos of like they have little children mannequins with them strapped to their hands and getting blown off.
Ah, man. I haven't bought fireworks in forever.
Well, I still live, or at least when I'm back home, I still live out in the country, so it's there's less of a noise ordinance there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Although I was not terribly long ago when I was staying up in Indiana, I wasn't too far from a baseball stadium, and it was almost like during the season, it was almost like nightly fireworks shows. It was really quite annoying. But where I'm at now in a big city, you're either hearing sirens or the occasional pop that you just hope is a vehicle backfiring.
I live mostly in a quiet area, except for my downstairs neighbors. I thought had a special needs child, but no, actually just a weird football fan. So every once in a while, I'll just hear muffled screaming from downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh man, Lord of the Rings.
They've got 2 cave trolls. I didn't use the trap because I thought they would drop. I thought they would drop more than they did. Again, with the lava. And the metal grating is not melting his shoes or anything.
I think it would be funny if the dog showed up here again.
Yeah. Gotta say, it's pretty. It might be rather fortunate that Leon has a thick skull, because they got to pack a wallop.
That's why he was set to guard the president.
Yep. Also, you can kind of tell. You can kind of glean a little bit of backstory from these. I mean, this guy, he's into S&M.
Okay.
And the other one is clearly a germaphobe.
Or
maybe he's the Dom.
I mean, look, I'm just going to say, wearing a mask does not make you a germaphobe. It's just good manners.
Or maybe there's like maybe he's the Dom. I also love that he's got a bit, so he was clearly meant to be ridden.
Well, he could also be pulling things. Hooked up to reins to, like, attach to a plow. I don't know.
It is a farming community. Boy, doing this in VR is much easier because you can run backwards while you shoot. Did you ever see that art that someone made from the 6 logo? It was supposed to be like a giraffe being filleted.
I have seen it. It's one of those things where, until somebody pointed it out, it did not occur to me. And then even afterwards, now I'm still like, I don't know. It kind of have to force to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely if that had been a Rorschach test, the doctor might have asked questions.
Well,
Also, that grating is big enough for Leon's leg to slip through.
yeah, I think this would be a pretty tough fight. IRL.
No, it was in VR. I was halfway there. And back away so not to get squished.
Blah, 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 blah.
Amazing technology when you can trigger a door mechanism based on vital signs.
Dead man switch.
There you go. Excuse me.
Well, done about all I can do here.
Yeah, time to mosey on. Boy, is it warm? Feels like the AC should be cut down just a touch. I mean, I'm all for saving energy, but I do have my limits.
Do, do, do. I hear roaches.
Gotta get the old attaché. Now, is an attaché, is that specifically like a suitcase, or is it any sort of carrying bag?
So, let's look up. It's specifically a small, flat, rectangular case used for carrying documents.
Yeah. So Leon has a magic attaché then. That he can just shove weapons into.
Yeah. I wonder if it's...
Because when you go to the merchant, it shows it. It just shows it as a... It shows it like a small suitcase.
Yeah, so I think it's like a briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing anything in the words that would differentiate one from the other.
Briefcase would probably be the better word, because I think a suitcase would be something large.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, here comes somehow a puzzle that is powered by sunbeams.
Hey man, we're all going solar.
You know, I mean, I guess Salazar really isn't that bad of a guy. I mean, he's green-minded. And come to think of it, I don't think I've seen any electricity in here.
It's very into renewable energy, into bugs. That's going to be the new protein.
Oh yeah. Like how he was just kind of dancing. I'm over here. I'm over here. Yeah, and buttons that have hieroglyphs.
Very stylized.
You ever heard that theory that the Rosetta Stone is I'm gonna preface this by saying it's bullshit, but it's still kind of funny. It almost falls in sync with flat earthers, but they just think that the Rosetta Stone is fake just because it was too convenient.
I have not heard that one, but it does not surprise me.
Yeah, it's actually it's not the only one. It is actually one of several that they found. Basically, it's a decree, and they made this decree on these giant stone tablets, and then they sent them to the different regions, and they just put it in all 3 languages. Which I think, of course, it was Latin, and then I think two forms of language that were used in Egypt at the time.
I will look up some Rosetta Stone facts.
Yeah, it was like one of, I want to say like 7, because they found more since, and some of them more complete.
Yeah,
It's just the original one was like the one that was groundbreaking.
Yeah, it does say that while no longer unique. Let's see, ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, Demotic script, and Greek script.
Okay, yeah, not Latin. I will say though that did sort of jumpstart Egyptology by quite a bit. And going off on a little bit of a tangent, the Egyptologist, I can't remember her name, but she is acid vomit.
Ugh.
But she's coming close to finding where Cleopatra is.
Like her resting place?
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically, it's not really known why, but the ancient Egyptians more or less tried to erase her from history.
Interesting. Yeah. Tomb of Anthony and Cleopatra.
Oh, they share a tomb.
Apparently. Look, Egyptology is not my strong suit, so I don't know.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by anything to do with ancient history. Run! I got killed by this one the first time because I didn't notice this lever.
Oh.
That stops the middle one.
That's how they get you.
Well, this is also in like the original one. It was real easy to get killed by these because you had no depth perception, so you couldn't tell how close you were standing to it. And it was also really touch sensitive. Like if it grazes your nose, it just went ahead and counted it as it crushed your entire body.
Oh.
Crown piece. That also works as an elevator button.
Yeah.
But that is going to do it for us this week. We've had a great time so far. We're coming close to the end, probably a few more episodes. But we'll keep it running. As always, I am Smeef.
And I'm Austin.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.